Um, First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, double honors to the elders, great millstone, and salutation to all Yakim on higher than bodies bending to this marriage, teaching its work sincerely and faithfully. Um, the title of the video will be, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, right? Because in my last video, I was talking about how we're gonna go through adversity and tribulations, right? Some of us will be beheaded. Some of us may not only be beheaded, be thrown into prisons, be on a run, right? So we gotta understand that this is all part of the process. That just because this all happens to us doesn't mean that we don't have a ending. Lord's willing, we're part of that holy number. Because just because the Lord Esau kills you, just doesn't mean you're one of the elect. Because they're gonna be niggas getting killed by Esau, right? They didn't take heed. Proverbs chapter 1 verse 20. Stretched out my hand and no man regarded. That's what's gonna that's what's gonna happen. Also, some men are gonna be niggas, not Israelites, Jake. Well, Jake is gonna be getting killed, but not, who died in the faith are gonna be getting, people are gonna be, we gotta pray and hope and pray that we are part of that number, But let me read this. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel, meaning, we go through a lot of adversity and tribulations, You look at the history of the nation of Israel when we were the inception of Israel, when we were first formed. Egypt were in captivity, right? Ammon, Moab, Esau, Edom, Ham, right under everybody. That's hard to swallow for some people. Isaiah 48:10, behold, I refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. So we've been suffering because the Lord wants us to suffer, right? To build us up. You can't learn something. You can't build yourself to. You have to work yourself to get to something, right? There's the apprentice and journeyman. So like, I was learning about construction. It takes apprentice, journeyman, mastercraft. It's a bunch of there's a bunch of different different types of statuses in the construction work. Masonry, right? Bricklaying, building up houses, foundation laying, insulation, walls insulation. So there's a lot to do. You got a lot to do. It's not no easy thing. And guess what? You learn a few mistakes the first time around to progress. You have to. It's impossible for you not to make mistakes. And this is what we're doing. As Lord's willing, the hopeful elect, Lord's willing, right? We're ready to party elect. And that the Lord found favor in us. That we are part of that number. Because everything we went through was to prepare us for this, Alex Jones being part of, because we may, like in the video I posted, we may be put on the, what do you call it, the podium? Oh, it doesn't matter. In the courtroom, Esau is going to ask us questions on what we do as Hebrew Israelites, and we're going to have to answer them honestly. You're going to have to. He's going to make us swear in the scriptures also. You swear in the Bible, nothing else, blah, blah. Put your hand, even though he lies on it, But you're not exempt from that, right? You're an Israelite. So just because someone else does something doesn't mean you have to do it. You can't do it. If you do it, the Lord probably, that's what's coming. Psalms 33 and 12. Blessed is the nation whose Yahweh is the Lord, and the people whom he has chosen for his inheritance. So blessed is the Most High, right? Didn't he choose us, the nation of Israel? Who chose us for it? We're in his inheritance. Everything he wanted, everything he has, we're gonna inherit. Universe ultimately. Through Yahweh, right? The whole world, we're gonna inherit the world. And no one's gonna be able to do anything about that. Esau, he's been fighting since he sold the birthright to retrieve it, but it's gonna come to no avail. Because it wasn't meant for him, But if he knew the scriptures, he wouldn't be fighting so hard. But Esau's not a spiritual man. Esau's carnal, right? He believes what he can see: science, evolution. There is no God. We all come from chimpanzees. It's a bunch of garbage, right? But it doesn't matter what Esau thinks, because the Lord's gonna put him. He's gonna go into slavery. Esau's going into slavery. Lord chose the nation of Israel. We're gonna rule the world forever under Yahweh through King David. And then the elect and so on, right? Now faith is the substance. Now Hebrews 11 and 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Right? And so you gotta hope for some things, even though you don't see it. You gotta believe that it's there for you, even though you may not see it. Right? That's what Esau doesn't have. Esau doesn't have that. Other nations don't have that. Well, okay, Ishmael believed in Allah, but okay, good luck believing in Allah for another 5 billion years. Allah ain't nothing, right? There's no God for Ishmael. And I think they're calling upon Yahweh, really, but that's not his name. His name is not Allah. And he's not even meant for you. He's not your God. But these heathens don't know that, right? Esau, he doesn't have no God. He's a moron, right? Esau believes that Esau believes that he is the Most High. That's why he's going to slavery, and he's never going to get out until and then he's burned up. But this is his judgment, right? He will never receive mercy. As Scripture says, Jacob have I loved, and Esau have I hated. There's the reason why the Lord hates you, because you're a damn demon, right? There's not going to be no mercy for you after what you did to nation Israel. You got his sidekicks, right? The other nations jumping in. The Asians, Moab, right? So-called Chinese. So-called Japanese Ammon. So-called Arabs, the Ishmaelites. The so-called Africans, the Hamites. So-called the Hawaiians, the Japhites. So all these other nations, right? They're gonna go into slavery with you. They're gonna be your roommates. Your bunkmates. You're gonna have the bottom of the bed and have the top bunk. Because this is what's gonna happen. This is what you get. This is what's gonna happen to you guys, right? Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thought that I think towards you, saith the Lord. Thoughts of peace and not of evil. See, Because there's a reason why the Lord had to mention this, because Jake don't believe that there's an ending for us. What that scripture says, Jacob have, I have loved you, saith the Lord. Wherein have thou, I'm gonna get it anyways. For I know the thoughts is think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. To give us an expected. So we're gonna get an end, a good ending, an expected end, right? Jake doesn't believe in it. Jake believes a lot of Jake aren't as spiritual as they used to be. Thanks to Esau. But not only that, but the Lord didn't want them to get it because they're probably not part of the hopeful elect. But to get the scripture I was talking about, Malachi chapter 1 verse 2, I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein have thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I love Jacob. If you go this whole scripture. The burden of the word of the Lord is to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein have thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. The scripture, and it goes down, wherein Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, and I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. And the people against whom the Lord had indignation forever. So like the Lord, this talking about how Jake don't believe, going to what I was saying. Some Jake don't believe that the Lord loves them, right? That's why it says in Jeremiah 29:11, there's gonna be, if I can rephrase it, and I don't have it, I want to go back. Thoughts of peace and not of evil, because Jake doesn't believe. That's why I had to go thoroughly into it. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, right? Because some Jake don't believe in that. That's why the Lord had to mention it in this verse. Thoughts of peace, because the Lord has thoughts of peace for us. But Jake don't believe that. Because why? Because slavery, transatlantic slave trade, genocide, everything that happened to us, right? But after this captivity, this is the last captivity. This is the Lord's story. You really, you can't do nothing about it. People are upset. You got Edomites crying about it, but happened to Esau, In my last video, I was talking about that. But this is not your story. This is the Lord's, right? And the Lord can do whatever he wants with it. But the Lord loves the nation of Israel, right? And after this, we're not going to go into captivity ever again. Esau is going to be in captivity for 1,000+ years, and after that, he's going to be burnt off the face of the earth for 1,000 years, right? And with that, I want to give all praises, to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, double honors to the elders, great millstone, and salutation to all Yakim on the highways and byways. Till next time, I say Shalom.